Welcome to Purity class for July 2022. I do not own the rights to this music. Please have pen and paper ready to write down the scriptures for today's lesson. The topic is peer pressure. For do I now persuade men or God, or do I seek to please men? For I still pleased men, I would not be a servant of Christ. And that's Galatians chapter 1, verse 10. Whom will you try to please today, God or man? Your primary obligation, of course, is to please your Father in heaven, not your friends in the neighborhood. But even if you are a devoted Christian, you may from time to time feel the urge to impress your peers, and sometimes that urge can be strong. Peer pressure can be a good thing or a bad thing, depending upon your peers. If your peers encourage you to follow God's will and to obey His commandments, then you will experience positive peer pressure, and that is good. But if you are involved with friends who encourage you to do foolish things, you are facing a different kind of peer pressure, and you better beware. When you feel pressure to do things or to say things that lead you away from God, you are heading straight for trouble. So do not do the easy thing or the popular thing. Do the right thing, and do not worry about winning popularity contests. Peer pressure exists and you will experience it. Your biggest temptation may be living the way others want you to instead of how God wants you to live. At times, everyone, adults and teens, have that temptation. It may help to remember Isaiah's warning to the people of Israel, who were tempted to live the way the pagan people around them lived. To do so, and you will be all churned up inside. For there is no peace for the wicked. It is not worth it. Isaiah 57, verse 2. Blessed is the man who does not walk in the counsel of the wicked, or stand in the way of sinners, or sit in the seat of mockers. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and on his law he meditates day and night. He is like a tree planted by streams of water, which yields its fruit in season, and whose leaf does not wither. Whatever he does prospers. That was the NIV version of Psalm 1, verses 1 through 3. The King James Version of Psalm 1, verses 1 through 3. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law doth he meditate day and night. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. Proverbs 13, verse 20. He that walketh with wise men shall be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed. 2 Corinthians 5, verses 9 through 10. Wherefore we labor, that whether present or absent, we may be accepted of him. For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Christ, that everyone may receive the things done in his body according to that he hath done, whether it be good or bad. Psalm 19, verse 14. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my strength and my Redeemer. Romans 12, verse 2. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. Psalm 37, verse 31. The law of his God is in his heart, None of his steps shall slide. That is the end of our lesson. Make sure to write down all scriptures and study them. Listen to what the Lord is saying to you. God bless you, and thank you for joining me today.